Welcome to another reading. As I mentioned this month, I'm not making too much comments on these readings. Why? Because they speak for themselves. And I think they call us to take the action that's obvious in the readings. Therefore, you basically just get the bare readings from me this month. Occasionally, you get commentary. Little bits and pieces here and there. Reason I'm late is simple. I've been teaching a class on world religions at Lone Star College. There you are then. Today's reading is called The Architect. Not the architect in the way you normally think of as an architect, but an architect nonetheless. First quote is from someone we've all heard of, which is President John F. Kennedy. And it's from his book called Profiles in Courage. In a democracy, every citizen, regardless of his or her interest in politics, holds office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility, and in the final analysis, the kind of government that we get depends on how we fulfill those responsibilities. And Kennedy said, regardless of his interest, you'll find out that when I do readings, I typically make them gender non-specific, unless it really refers to a male or a female. Therefore, I expect when I do readings, they're actually going to make them either gender non-specific or I'll be all-inclusive, he, she, they, whatever. So. Ernest Holmes says, within us is the unborn possibility of limitless experience. Ours is the privilege of giving birth to it. And that's in the Science of Mind textbook on page 161. Freely translated, what does that say? It says that without breaking the laws of nature, of the universe, basically anything is possible. Anything, I would say, within reason. Theoretically, anything's possible if it doesn't break a universal law. But in reality, I'm saying within reason, anything is possible. And that includes changing the way our society looks at race, looks at creed, etc., etc. And this is Reverend Andriette speaking. She says, in honor of the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, I recognize and acknowledge A. Philip Randolph, founder and president of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, a union that was formed, and well, you'll see what the union was formed, and the AFL-CIO executive. She's doing it for his role as the March architect and his long-term commitment and contribution to the civil rights movement. In the 1990s, the Pullman Company was the largest employer of African Americans. In 1925, Randolph created the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. I recall the deep admiration our community held for Pullman porters. Although many were college graduates and respected in their communities, they were still paid low wages and subjected to disrespect and discriminatory practices. In the 10 years Randolph led the union, porters realized increased wages, a shorter week, and overtime pay. He served as president of the National Negro Congress, an organization created to pressure President Franklin Delano Roosevelt to institute policies designed to treat African Americans fairly in the workplace and to protect their civil rights. He initiated the 1941 March on Washington movement, calling for thousands of Black people to assemble at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on July 1st, 1941. Why? To demand the president act. When Randolph refused to call off the march, Roosevelt responded by issuing an executive order, quote, forbidding, quote, discrimination in the employment of workers in defense industries or government because of race, creed, color, or national origin, unquote. Randolph collaborated with other Black leaders on the 1963 march, calling for freedom and prodding the pending Civil Rights Act into law. So, I think it speaks for itself. He put his money where his mouth is. And of course, it also says that sometimes our leaders only act under pressure. Roosevelt acted under pressure. Kennedy, on the other hand, as far as I know, did not act under pressure. He acted because of what was coming from him, from his heart. And that's really all I have to say on this. All I ask you to do is listen to the rest of this month's readings and then accept them with an open mind. And an open mind and willingness, if you believe it's your job to do something about things, even if it's only to go out and talk to people and promote what you think is right and proper. So if you see anyone being discriminated against, if I see anyone being discriminated against for whatever reason, it's our job to speak up about it and to stop it. So with that, here is the affirmation. I say yes to freedom, justice, and equality. I say yes to freedom, to justice, and to equality. My colleague, Reverend Lisa, will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on the Creative Life Spiritual Center Facebook page. All of these are recorded. They're saved. They'll be in there. So until next time, take care. Take care of yourselves. And listen, if you've been really busy today, find some way to take it easy. I've had a busy day. I am going to find some way to take it easy this evening. And what's more, I am going to pay attention to my wife. When she talks to me, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that she knows I'm paying attention to her. So until next time, see you then. Namaste, au revoir, and so on.